Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar with us here at Actionstep, PEXA, By the Rules, and Connecta. Today's webinar is another pathway to PEXA for property lawyers and conveyancers with the Actionstep Konekta integration. So today, we're going to be covering a few key things. We're going to discuss the efficiencies that are being experienced by property lawyers with this new integration. That's going to come from Marliese at By the Rules with her customer testimonial. We're also going to hear from Josh Radford at PEXA as well. And then I'll give you a demo of the integration, and I'll also show you the key things that you need to have switched on in your Actionstep system in order to access the integration. And then we'll wrap the session up with a bit of Q&A as well. So first up today, we're going to have Josh Radford speak from PEXA. So Josh, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Tyler, and thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. This integration is truly exciting, for it does provide another pathway to PEXA for the industry to reap the benefits of digital property settlements. Congratulations to both Actionstep and their integrated partner, Connecta, in delivering this functionality to the market. It provides PEXA members with other options and alternatives in terms of their operational processes and what works best. At PEXA, we continue to innovate, we continue to evolve, and partnering with firms like Actionstep and Connecta is an important part of that. Collaboration has always been an important part of PEXA's DNA. We deliver a property settlement solution to help service and support Australia's largest asset class, being property. Over 151 financial institutions use PEXA, and over 9,000 legal and conveyancing firms use PEXA nationally. Today, we facilitate over 80% of property settlements nationally. Our defining purpose is to transform the property experience for everyone, adding joy to the process of buying or selling a home. I know for myself, when I first bought a house, it was quite an anxious period, but certainly looking back, it was also a joyous period. It is a life-changing event, it's a life-changing experience, and we want to make that process as joyous as we can. It's this type of integration with partners like Actionstep and Connecta, which provide efficiencies and benefits for everyone involved in the property process. So it's now my pleasure to hand you over to Marliese, who's the training manager at By the Rules, to hear more about this integration and how it is benefiting not only By the Rules, but the wider market. Thanks, Marliese, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks, Josh. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining. I'm Marliese from By the Rules Conveyancing. By the Rules has been using the Connecta PEXA integration for a few months now. It has provided our staff with significant time savings per matter. It's also given our team the confidence that the data captured in Actionstep, which has been verified as correct, as this has been confirmed when our client completes our client information statement. We then open our workspace with the Connecta plugin. The data then flows through to the PEXA workspace correctly, without us having to rekey the same information and eradicating key errors. I recently opened a PEXA workspace for a purchase matter not using the Connecta PEXA plugin. It took me just over 4 minutes to set the workspace up. I then used the Connecta PEXA integration and opened a workspace for a purchase matter using the plugin. It took me 2 minutes and 8 seconds. That took half the amount of time. What a time refund. The integration also easily brings up the PEXA workspace in PEXA, helps set and maintain the settlement date, which ensures the settlement date is correct in both systems. You can easily invite banks and solicitors as well. So let's do some quick maths. Let's say the average conveyancer settles 35 matters a month. If you were to create a PEXA workspace for all of these matters with the Connecta PEXA integration yourself, this would refund you 1 hour and 10 minutes a month. That's huge. By the Rules has settled over 10,000 matters on PEXA, and I can assure you that all our staff here highly recommend any Actionstep user working on property matters to give this integration a go. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Thank you, Connecta and Actionstep. Passing over to you, Tyler.
Awesome. Thanks, Marlies. So what I'm going to do for this last section of the webinar is I'm just going to show everyone how you can access the new integration. So the first thing that will need to be done is you'll have to ensure that you have the Conveyancing Australia matter type installed in your Actionstep system. You can access this by going to the Actionstep website, going to Explore, going to Add-ons, and then you'll find Conveyancing Australia and simply click Install on the right here. Follow the prompts and you'll have that added into your system. The second step is by going to integrations and ensuring that you have Connecta switched on. If you don't have it switched on, you'll find it in our list of integrations and then simply click connect, follow the prompts, and you'll have that now connected in your system. So once you have that both done, you'll be able to open a conveyancing matter type in Actionstep. And then at the end of your toolbar, you'll go to plugins, you'll see Connecta on the right, and then you'll have the PEXA integration here. Now, there are a couple of core things that you can do from this space. The first is if you have not created the PEXA workspace yet, then you'll have the option on this first line here to create the workspace in PEXA. Simply click that, and then Actionstep will bring across all the essential fields that are required to successfully open the workspace in PEXA. Next, you can simply just show the workspace summary. You can invite other participants into the workspace as well from within Actionstep. And finally, you can update the settlement date and time as well. So simply put in your new settlement date, and then you'll have the option of updating Actionstep, updating PEXA, or updating both of them. And that is the new PEXA integration. Now, if there are any questions, I'd like to open the floor to a few, and we can answer your questions. Thanks.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a bit of a Q&A session. We've got some questions that have come in. So the first one here is someone, I'm using Leap. Will the Connecta integration work with this system? I can probably take that one. No, the Connecta integration with PEXA, it only currently works with Actionstep. What are some of the influence? I think this is a good one for you, Marlies. What are some of the inefficiencies property lawyers experience, and how can this integration fix those?
Great question. The main reason this integration was built was significantly reduce double entry of data. This is one of the most common inefficiencies within law firms. When you think about that across the number of e-settlements taking place in Queensland alone, that really adds up. Thinking about it from an individual point of view, as property lawyers, when you handle upwards of, say, 35 files of conveyancing transactions a month, this reduction of administrative time makes a huge positive impact on efficiency and reduces mistakes and typos as well.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Marlies. This is a good one for you, Josh. Someone's asked, how much is PEXA used in Queensland?
Yeah, that is a good question, Tyler, and thank you for that question, whoever asked that. In terms of, as I touched on earlier, over 80% of all property settlements are going through the platform nationally. And in terms of Queensland, we've seen a huge improvement the last 12 months, especially 12 to 12 months.
Oh.
Property settlements in Queensland are going through our platform in PEXA, which is great.
Sorry, can you give us that number one more time, Josh? You just cut out on us a second there. What was the exact number?
The exact number?
Yeah.
The vast majority. So pushing up towards, I think, around nearly over 60%.
Cool. Someone's asked, Andrew has asked, is there a cost for using the integration? So there's no cost of the Connecta integration. The only thing that you really need is the Conveyancing Australia matter type. And chances are you already have that, but that is $49 for the firm to use it. You can have an unlimited number of users using that, and it's still $49, but there's no cost to the integration itself. One from Aaron as well. Does this mean we need to open all new conveyancing matters in a new matter type? Aaron, I'd say that just depends on what matter type you're currently using for your conveyancing file. So if you're using that Conveyancing Australia one, you will be able to continue using that. If you haven't used the Conveyancing Australia matter type, it's been on our marketplace for a couple of years now, so most people have it. But if you don't have that, then yes, you would need to install the Conveyancing Australia matter type and then have the integration flow off of that. Go to another one here. Sorry, I'm just reading through a few of these. How would I find out if I have been invited to participate in a new PEXA workspace? I think we were going to have. So I think Connecta is creating. Connecta is creating a notifications Chrome extension. So that is going to allow you to see and accept or decline all pending PEXA workspace invitations. So this is going to be released in the next few weeks to all Actionstep users. So that's going to be a Chrome extension for you.
Just on that, Tyler, that's a real benefit for the market because there are a lot of notifications that get generated within PEXA, and that's something we've heard in the past is there's a lot of notifications. I've got to get into PEXA, I've got to get into practice management software as well. Having that Chrome extension will be a real winner for the users.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Josh. Andrew's asked a follow-up question. Will this be available if you don't use Connecta, so directly through Actionstep? Connecta is an integration partner with us, Andrew, so they basically only do Actionstep connections. I would say that this is directly through Actionstep, obviously via that. So it's a free integration. You just add it into your system. It's really easy to install, and then it lives within your Actionstep system. So it is within the platform. This might be one for you, Josh. What happens if you need to amend a detail in PEXA? If you open the matter through Actionstep, does it need to be amended in Actionstep?
You can amend it obviously in Connecta, and then you've got the ability to make sure it matches up with PEXA. So when you select, you can select obviously update Connecta, update Actionstep, or update PEXA, or update both. So you can do that all in the one application.
Thank you. I've got another one here from Peter. I have my own matter type for conveyancing. Do I have to use the Conveyancing Australia matter type? And if so, can I tailor it as I want? That's a good question, Peter. So to utilize the Connecta integration, you do need to have the Conveyancing Australia one as your conveyancing matter type. And the reason for that is because there's very specific fields that map from Actionstep and then flow into PEXA for you. And we need to have those be stable in order for the data to flow through. So you would be able to amend certain fields in the Conveyancing Australia matter type, but you wouldn't be able to amend the ones that flow into PEXA, or else the integration wouldn't work. So hopefully that answers your question. Just seeing if there are any other ones. I think I've gotten to already existing in the firm. How does the Conveyancing Australia matter type integrate with matter types already existing in the firm as matter types relating to conveyancing matters? Not 100% sure I understand the question, Helen, but I think what you're saying is, how do those matters relate to each other? You still can create related matters in Actionstep. That is a feature of the system, so you can tie certain matters together, and you'd be able to do the same with the Conveyancing Australia matter type as well. I'm just gonna see if there's one more. Andrew, Andrew, you have that. So Andrew's asked, we've had the Connecta integration for a few years, but our matter type is called New South Wales Conveyancing. How do we get this updated? Andrew, that is the correct matter type that you have. On our marketplace, it's called Conveyancing Australia, but when you actually go to install the matter type, it's gonna be shown in your system as New South Wales Conveyancing, Vic Conveyancing, Queensland Conveyancing, just depends on what state you're in. So Andrew, you've already got the correct one. So we had another one come in from Shannon. I've just had I've just gone to enable it. Who do I need to have to contact to have them assist me with the link to link it up? Stay tuned, Shannon. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, great news, Tyler. We've already got someone putting the plug-in in.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Shannon, hold tight on that one. It is live, and I was just using it earlier today. So I would say just use the chat in the bottom right of your screen, or I can connect with you after this, Shannon. We can make sure that it's all flowing through properly as well. Paul, who's asked, will it work with ACT conveyancing matters when ACT joins PEXA? Josh?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. It was that Paul, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, for that question. So ACT is planning to come on the network. So still got ACT to go, Tasmania, and also Northern Territory. But yes, I see no reason why it wouldn't work in terms of ACT. Obviously, it works in all jurisdictions. So when ACT comes on the network, we look forward to this being enabled as well.
And Aaron's asked, are there any updates on ACT getting PEXA?
Yeah, that's a good one. It's taking a little bit longer than I think everyone would like. Question without notice. I can come back and give you a more definitive time frame around when we're looking like ACT being enabled. But it will be important for the industry because a lot of firms in New South Wales do a lot of work in the ACT as well. So this is part of PEXA's mandate when we started back in 2010 was to roll out to all states and territories. So I'll take that question offline and come back directly with a more definitive answer for you.
Josh has asked, will the Connecta Chrome extension work on Windows Edge? Unfortunately, no, Josh. It will only be a Chrome extension, so you need to be using Google Chrome as your browser as opposed to Edge. Peter has asked, how do I get the Conveyancing Australia matter type to appear in my system so I can select it? So Peter, if you just go to the Actionstep homepage, just go to actionstep.com. And then go to Explore in our top banner at the top, and then go to Add-ons, and you will find Conveyancing Australia as an option there as well. And just for the record as well, for anyone who might have missed certain sections, we have recorded this, and we are going to be emailing it out to everyone. And just for you, Peter, as well, in case you didn't quite catch that, I did walk through where exactly you can add the Conveyancing Australia matter type into your system, and that will be on the recording as well. Melissa has asked, I noticed that the Conveyancing Australia add-on is available in Queensland, New South Wales, and Victoria. Is it currently available in WA? I would have to check with the Work Cloud team on whether it's available in WA for you, Melissa. Let me jot down your name here and double check with you on that. You're welcome. I'm just going to give it another minute for any other questions to flow in. We've had quite a few, which has been great. If there aren't any further ones, what we were planning on doing as well is just doing a little demo of Actionstep after this for anyone who's not using Actionstep. So I did see on here there are a lot of Actionstep users on the webinar as well. But if there is anyone that isn't, then we're going to do a quick demo after this as well. So I think we'll wrap up the Q&A there, and we'll get the other demo going just of Actionstep for those of you who haven't used us. And if there are any other questions, feel free to get in touch with me here at Actionstep as well. My details will be provided at the end of the webinar.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Marlies, and thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Welcome to Actionstep. Today, I'd like to give you an overview of Actionstep and our complete legal practice management system. I'm hoping today to give you a brief overview about our customers, our product, our integrations and some stats, how we are different, and then jump into the live system and highlight some key features. Within Actionstep, you'll find a complete legal practice management platform, complete with all of the standard features that you'd expect from a modern day system. Those are things such as CRM, document automation and storage, business accounting and reporting, matter management, trust accounting, billing, as well as email and calendar management. We integrate with many of the standard products that we find the most modern firms in 2020 are using. Those are systems such as Office 365 and Xero, NetDocuments, Zapier. Globally, we now have over 10,000 daily lawyers using the system. We have an exceptionally high customer retention rate, and on sites such as Capterra, which is a legal review website for software systems, you'll find us as one of the most highly reviewed systems as well. So how do we actually accomplish such great stats? Well, the first is with different layers of automation. You can automate things such as documents, emails, and tasks, but also data collection, key entry in workflow, and a number of other areas of the system as well. Actionstep is very much customized to the needs of each firm, allowing firms to bake their processes into their daily practice management system. It's an incredibly collaborative and flexible platform as well. With us being a 100% cloud-based system, it is fully compatible on PCs and Macs, tablets and mobile phones, and those include Android and iOS devices. As I mentioned, Actionstep has a complete legal practice management system. There are a number of different features, and I'm only going to be able to touch on a small handful of these today, so I will only be able to really scratch the tip of the iceberg. I'll show you the Outlook item for Office 365 that is available on both the web version of Outlook, the desktop version, and also on our customer's mobile phone as well. And as I mentioned, we are a complete cloud system, allowing it to be used on tablets, mobile phones, and computers as well. So let's jump into it here. Within Actionstep, this is your home screen. So how do we actually get into our Actionstep system every day? Well, Actionstep is just like your internet banking, where you come onto the website every day and you hit a sign-in button, and then once you log in with your credentials, you are brought into the home screen. As you can see here, I'm just running Actionstep out of the browser, so I simply have my URL browser there, and I'm just running Chrome on a MacBook Pro. Once you're inside Actionstep, you'll have your calendar integrated with Office 365 or G Suite. You have your appointments and your tasks for the day. The Scratchpad is essentially an electronic notepad. So this notepad is basically like a virtual post-it note. So you can create as many as you'd like, and only you can see them. Once you've written up a note, you can then use our Smart button to convert these into more meaningful items in your system. So those are things such as time entries, file notes, emails and appointments, or maybe assigning this to be a task for another staff member. We've got our nav bar across the top where I can access my matters, my billing, my tasks, my Actionstep general ledger accounting, our trust accounting, the different reports, and then there are other areas such as your contacts list, your timesheet, and there are other interesting elements of the system as well, such as web forms, so you can post forms for people to fill in online, perhaps on your website, and you can also do an advanced search throughout the system for things such as documents and emails. If you need to find a matter, simply search on the little search bar here, and you can create things using that global create button. So that would be opening up a new matter, doing a file note, uploading a document into Actionstep, or assigning a task. So for our example today, let's create a matter. Let's put some time on it, and we'll draft a document and bring it through into an email. So we'll go ahead and we will create a matter here. So Actionstep is very much customizable, and it really starts on this screen. Each one of these different, what we call matter types here, will have their own workflows, their own precedent documents that are templated, their own reports, and their own key field tracking. So those can be things such as key dates. Firms can create their own. There are a number that come with the Actionstep system, and you can download matter types into your system from our website as well. For today, I'm going to use a matter type that is included in every Actionstep system, what we just call the general matter here. So we're going to give this matter a name. We're going to assign it to one of our members of staff here. For instance, we'll keep it to me for now. And then we are going to fill in some key elements of this. So this is a very simple matter type. So we're just going to have a couple of automatic tasks get assigned to some different staff members. We are going to then assign some key people to this. So my client is going to be Actionstep in this case here. The primary contact, that is going to be James there. The lawyer in this case, that is going to be me. And the legal assistant is going to be Mr. Lee Baker here, for instance. We are going to fill in some basic details about the matter so that this can all get populated automatically into a document. The pieces of information that you choose to display here for your users is completely customizable by every firm, along with the parties and along with the tasks. So if I scroll down, we'll put in a fee estimate here for maybe 3,000. We're going to create an appointment that's going to link through to my Office 365 or Gmail calendar. So we'll put in an initial appointment. We're going to make that next week. We're going to make that at 8:30 a.m. and we're going to insert that into my Gmail calendar. So that appointment is going to be viewable in the matter, in my Actionstep system, and in my, in this case, Gmail calendar, but it could be Office 365 as well. So that's done. That's been pushed through. What type of engagement is it? Again, you can create your own types of engagements here if you'd like. I'm just going to use a generic one that we include in every system, just legal advice. And the problem description will say draft shareholder agreement. So all of that's done, and we're now going to create that matter. So that is being created as we speak, and there it is. So we'll now go into this matter space, and we now have a simple and easy to use system for managing everything with this matter. So I've got here a progress bar, what tasks need to be completed, how much time is currently outstanding to be invoiced, what are our recent file notes, our recent emails, our recent documents, and our trust accounting as well. And if I scroll all the way down to the bottom and I use this admin button, I can actually pick and choose what panels of information appear here, and I can reorder them as well. So I can have Actionstep reorganize these panels in whatever way I'd like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that initial information and we're going to use it to create a document. So let's go ahead and generate an engagement letter using the information that we've already entered. So we're going to pick from a template. Here's where all of your template precedents would sit. So let's go ahead and do that engagement letter. We're going to save that in the client correspondence folder of our DMS system here. So there's a number of different folders that, again, each firm can set to their particular needs and that are set for every type of matter that you have. So we'll put this into client correspondence. We're going to go ahead and generate that. I can see that's been successfully done, and that's now sitting in client correspondence. We're going to go ahead and open that up, and then we're going to see all of our key details pushed into the matter here. And there we go. So we can see the date, the matter ID number, the client, and our primary contact there. That has all been pushed through to this matter. My recent note, and also the fee estimate as well, has been populated onto this document. As I make changes to this, so I can say draft shareholder agreement and deliver to shareholders meeting, I can see as that is being changed, Actionstep is saving those changes automatically back into the system. So that's all done. I've made those changes and now perhaps I am comfortable with that and I want to send it out here, for instance. So we could take this document and right from within Actionstep, we can PDF this as well. So you could send it out as a Word document or we could convert it. So go ahead and turn that into a PDF as well. As we're doing that, let's go ahead and create an email in Office 365 as well. So let's go into Outlook here and let's go ahead and draft an email. So now what we're going to do is we are going to use the Actionstep Outlook plugin to do pretty much everything on this email here. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up Actionstep, and if I had that pinned, that would appear on every matter. So let's go ahead and do Actionstep shareholder agreement there. So I can see I've got a few of those there. Used this example before, but let's go ahead and create that. And there we go. So what we're going to do is we're now going to grab a party off of our matter here. So let's say that we're going to send this through to Actionstep licensing in this case, which happens to be me, but that's okay. And we're going to bring through an email template as well. So I don't want to type out this email, it takes too much time. So I'm going to actually populate that there. Actionstep's just saying, hey, please just insert a first name into this so that you're making sure that you send it to the right person. And then finally, we're going to attach a document as well. So if we go into client correspondence, that PDF should be there. Perfect. Let's go ahead and attach that. And that has been done. So you can say, Dear Tyler, please find attached. Go ahead and send that. And that's all been logged to the matter. And there is that email. Going back into Actionstep now, I'm going to find a few key things here. So we're going to see that we've got a recent document here that is now there. And Actionstep is actually going to prompt me to enter some time as well. So if I go to my timesheet now and I go to today, we're going to find that I haven't entered anything on my timesheet yet for today. But if I go to my suggestions here, Actionstep has actually been tracking the things that I've been doing throughout the day. So I can see that we created this matter, that we created that document as well, but I failed to put a time entry on this. So what Actionstep's doing is saying, hey, you've done this work, you've done it at this time, but you haven't put a time entry on yet. So let's go ahead and put this time entry on. Say drafted and sent document. And we'll put in here that maybe we bill a standard half hour for that. Go ahead and save that. And that's now going to appear on my matter there. And now if I go back into the matter, we're going to see that all these key elements have been saved into it now. So I can see here that our $150, that's come through. We've got 0.5 hours of billable time there. Our recent documents are sitting there, and we have now this nice easy space filling up. Those are the day-to-day tasks. So drafting documents, attaching them to emails, using email templates, and ultimately recording time. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks for attending today. If you would like a more personalized demonstration to your firm, feel free to click on the prompt that is below, and I'll be happy to get in touch. You might want something a bit more tailored for maybe the types of work that you're doing. For the geo that you're in, Belinda, I can see you wanted a pre-recorded one for NZ. I actually haven't done a pre-recorded one here for New Zealand, but I'd be happy to take you through Actionstep for a more New Zealand-centric focus as well, just like I have in that demo. So feel free to just click on the prompt, and I'll just get in touch with you and tee up a time with you. We will send this out to everyone as well. And if there are any further questions, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, thanks everyone.